Yeah, I forgot the stove was on. So I've leant up and I'm just talking away. And Peter's like, bro, where's that smoke coming from? And I've looked, I'm like, your whole... And that's not the story. Because the original story, that jacket, originally, he lent me his jacket on a night out. We got in a fight. Yeah, jacket ripped. And he was like, bro, just throw it away. And I was like, no, I'm going to get it repaired. I'll take it to the tailor's. Got it repaired. I think it was second week. Then it set on fire.
There was smoke coming up behind his head.
Melting it. Melted all it. I had burns, everything.
Yo, welcome back to Shotgun New York. You're on episode, I think it's 45. With guests here today, we got Kings Cvstle. How you doing, boys?
Yes, everyone. You good, yeah?
Love.
First time in Bournemouth.
Hopefully not the last time as well, boys.
Definitely not the last time. Definitely not the last time.
Thanks for making the journey down. How was the journey?
Good, man. It took 2 hours on train from Waterloo Station.
Right,
so
yeah.
it weren't too bad, man.
And you're hanging from your show last night? Or
Yeah, hanging.
It's not even just last night because we performed the night before. And it was like one of the first venues we started performing at. Shout out to Tracks on Tap.
Yeah, man. Big up Tracks
and it
on
was
Tap.
their first birthday, so we had to turn up, man. And obviously,
We headlined the
I've
show.
been at work all day. So I went 25 hours with no sleep, then got 5 hours sleep, performed yesterday.
Grinding, man.
4 a.m. last night, woke up 9 a.m. today.
Yeah, so we're tired, man. I tried to sleep on the train down, but I just couldn't, man.
Oh, Bob? What? I said, what time is it now?
No, you fucking didn't. You said a wobber bob.
Are you sure you're okay to drive? Yeah, fine.
So you boys sort of still on the wave then?
Still on the wave, yeah, look.
We're
Got the
back on it
drinks.
now,
We're
man.
back on it now,
Come
man.
on,
We've got to stay in it. We've got to stay
Free
in
for
it,
a
man.
fiver, man.
Not
That's
endorsing it. Not
3 for a
endorsing it,
fiver. You
but-
don't get that in London.
yeah.
It's normally what? 2 for a fiver in London, isn't it?
Mate, it's that.
So you boys hail from sunny northeast London, Walthamstow to be
Yeah.
precise.
Is
I wouldn't call it very sunny. though.
Is it northeast?
I call it overcast.
Yeah,
Grey.
it's E17, so it's
Climate change. is making
E17.
things
yes,
better,
yeah.
though,
So is it East London or is it Northeast London?
Would
It's
you
sort
stay
of-
another day?
I've never ever called. I'd say in London. I don't know. In London, we never ever. I don't know. It's either you're east, you're north, you're west, you're south.
Yeah.
I've never really.
I think Walthamstow technically is northeast.
Yeah.
so
Yeah, it is on the
yeah,
map.
it is
on the
Yeah,
map.
yeah. Nice one, boys. So,
Yeah,
like,
man.
Kings Cvstle, tell our viewers, listeners about yourselves. And, like, obviously, Shotgun New York's first, twins on the show.
Killer.
Come on.
Sick.
So-
That is sick,
So,
man.
introduce yourselves, boys.
Right, so my name's Peter.
My name's Daniel.
Both of us from Kings Cvstle.
Yeah, man.
Been doing this for about 2 years now. Originally, all the music was from myself. So.
Well, no. Let's not say 2 years because Kings Cvstle has been running for 2 years, but we've been doing this from day, like from little kids, from you rapping in fucking Warwick Boys.
Yeah.
In the classroom. Obviously, me per se, at first I tried a bit of rapping that, but he was always a lot better than me.
So
But-
yeah, really from 14, early
No,
grime
we had-
scene
bro,
days.
I had CDs of this guy, yeah, spitting like little boy, yeah, and he snapped the CDs.
They were too embarrassing, man. I had to.
Joking,
I had to snap the
Do you not
CDs,
regret
man.
that now, though, man?
Nah, yeah and no, and I don't know, man. But yeah, I'd say started rapping at about 14, stopped at about 16, then picked it up again 2 years ago.
Yeah, obviously I started producing. Originally I went to, I was advised by a youth worker to start a course called DV8. It's now called, let me big them up, man. It's called Be Creative Education, I think, and they run courses in Walthamstow. I think they've got courses in Brighton now as well, so they're nationwide now. And yeah, started off with them, learning how to produce. They taught me a lot. And then from then, I went to, CM Sounds, want to big them up as well, in Whitechapel, which was a university, but in a community centre, they do foundation degrees. So yeah, anyway, cut to the chase, started producing house,
You
techno,
started off with house, didn't you?
garage,
Yeah, man.
and then obviously he started MCing again, started writing lyrics. Obviously he went to uni, studied
Sociology. Yeah, so I studied sociology at uni.
Hence the, like, politically
Yeah,
charged
yeah,
lyrics.
exactly,
to
exactly, man.
articulate himself.
Yeah,
man.
man. So I finished that about 3 years ago, and then I had the option of, do I go down the graduate path or do I just go for music? And music is my passion. Like,
So it's kind of safe to say then, like, you both, like, kind of, like, did your own thing respectively, and
Yeah.
then you've recently come together in the last 2 years to create Kings
Come
Cvstle.
together,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
Come
That's sick,
together
man.
because I started because he was always my engineer. So he so originally Kings
before I
Cvstle.
started producing hip hop, I started engineering.
Yeah.
Yeah, your
So-
voice over other people's beats.
Yeah, so I started off just with the rapping, man. So it was Kings Cvstle was just me at the beginning. He was behind the scenes doing the engineering, etc. Everything in the studio, even helping me with lyrics at times because we bounced off each other a lot. And then yeah, man, it's come into my head, and I was like, bro, we need to do this as a duo. There's not twins out there like us. The only other twins I really know are Jedward.
Not very good and incredibly annoying.
And they are
Come on now, you can't say that.
they're the fucking opposite.
Nah, man, you've got. Let's
We're
make
not
it
in the
famous
grime
twins,
scene,
man.
innit?
Yeah.
So
You've
no
got-
one can
alright,
send
so
for us.
Off the
innit?
top of my head, you
I don't wanna hear
got
that.
the Proclaimers.
Yeah, you have.
You got the Proclaimers. You got T and Tamira, sister.
Yeah.
You got Danny DeVito and Arnold Schwarzenegger in that famous
Yeah.
twins.
Yeah.
And you got Kings Cvstle.
Oh, yeah, there you go. There you
Millie
go,
Vanilli,
man.
were they twins as well? I don't know, man. But
Dunno, man.
yeah, big up.
Well, there's someone else as well. I can't remember their names.
What rappers, musicians?
no,
what
no,
the
there
Cray?
was other
other,
twins.
other
The
than
Cray
the
twins,
The
yeah.
Cray twins, yeah. East London and all
Not,
that.
boys
not
are
claiming
naughtier.
to be the Cray
Cray
twins.
twins, no, nowhere near, man. But
So tell us a bit more about like your background, because we had a chat at the pub beforehand.
Yeah,
You've got
yeah,
quite like an interesting kind of backstory and
So,
like, upbringing.
what would you like back? Yeah, man. In terms of so my mum, Irish immigrant, emigrated here in the late 80s, maybe mid 80s, maybe early 80s. I
Same
can't
as
be
my
for
dad's.
sure. Yeah,
Same as my dad, yeah.
From the Republic of Ireland, so Southern Ireland. Started off. I think it was in what's that? Them ends up north. I forgot now.
Nottingham. So my
Nottingham.
mum, she lived in
started
Nottingham
off
for a
here,
bit.
Yeah.
Moved down to London. Met my dad.
Yeah,
My
and
dad.
she's very like left wing. So I'd say more socialist background. So quite anarchic. So
Yeah.
very
Punk-
at
bit of
a
a
young
punk man.
age we were. I can't pronounce the word, but politicus. Yeah, got into politics. Innit?
Got into politics,
Yeah.
yeah, man. Politically aware. So
Yes, articulate, bro.
So, yeah, man, no, but how that affects our background is like, so obviously my mum's from Ireland, strict Catholic background. So she's come to England
Dad's background's from the manor, from the east.
from the
Cockney.
east, but he was a priest for a bit, man. He was a priest for a few years in
Yeah, but he done
Botswana.
something different. He so rather than my uncle, obviously he stayed like most typical working class men from that era, but like mechanic. Like, well, now he works.
He's
in-
the Undertaker.
He's
an Undertaker.
Morbid as fuck, but anyway, obviously that's where we dispose of our. I'm joking. But yeah, so yeah, man. Obviously, he went off to uni, Lancaster Uni. Like, really educated himself. Really well read. Obviously, was a priest for a while.
But like that's the interesting thing that affects us because my mum obviously is from like strict Catholic background, come to England, married my dad who was a Protestant priest. I don't think when they married he was a Protestant priest, but that's quite a big thing. Do you know what I mean?
man,
So
Try not to have to take.
so we have yeah, I'll stop touching that wire. But so yeah, our influences come, yeah, man, because my dad's pretty left wing as well. He's pretty socialist. My granddad
But
was
more
So he's
from
not, but he's not a
more
priest
from an
anymore, is he?
No, he's not a priest
More from a
anymore.
old
No,
school-
no.
More from an old school English though point of view, like yeah.
Yeah.
Not as I wouldn't say he is as rebel as mum and
Mum, yeah.
So she basically like just like influenced him
We've got family who
and
fought
showed
with-
him the light.
Like, yeah. Well, my
yeah.
dad's very politically aware, and my mum's very politically
That's
aware.
cool, but
so-
I think it's good to have like a really like good diverse background and
Yeah, it is.
understanding.
It
So
is,
I was
man.
raised Catholic, man. And I think
Yeah.
like in terms of kind of forming yourself as a person, like I'm atheist now. Like, I don't
Yeah,
believe
yeah.
in that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But,
believe in
but
something,
you understand like both sides of it, and you see
You
where
do.
people are coming from. Do you know
Yeah,
what I mean?
exactly,
It, like, forms you as a
man.
person.
Exactly,
your views.
man.
It's definitely obviously had an impression on you boys as well because
course.
we've just recently gone through the fucking all Brexit and all that sort of shit, and
Yeah, man.
you were very vocal on social media, weren't you, about that?
Yeah. I was, man.
I disagree with it in every sort of way. I think maybe if it was a Brexit under a more left wing party, like it would have been better. But
The thing with me is not about Brexit.
and it's the hard border in.
I don't want to talk about it too much because I
Yeah,
need to educate myself on it a lot more.
That's a good way to
I'm not
be,
gonna
man. You
get
need to
into
be
it and
informed
say
because
stuff
I
I don't want to say stuff I don't.
yeah, man. I
The-
find that a lot of like I'm kind of I'm anti-Brexit, but
Yeah.
it's happening. So I'm kind of like, right, it's got to be the best it's got to be. But it's kind of like a lot of people who are very, very left-leaning are very uninformed, and they come out with like mic drop kind of statements.
Yeah, exactly,
it's
man.
like, well,
and it says them Facebook posts.
Understand
And it
it.
makes you look stupid.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Give yourself a
And
bit of
their comments
context. Have a
represent-
conversation with people
Yeah.
who know their shit, and then
But a
form
lot of
your own
that comes
opinion.
from because a lot of left-wing people come from working class backgrounds where we've not had the same education. Like we've not been through. Well, look at me now. I'm finding
Well, a
it
lot
hard to
of
articulate
left-wing,
myself
a lot
now,
of
do you
left-wing
know what
people
I
come
mean?
from middle-class backgrounds. That's what you're trying to say.
Yeah, but I mean, the more anarchic, the more ones who are really actually wanting to get a point across and really trying to get forward, it's hard. And when they do say stuff, it just sounds.
It
dumb.
doesn't come across.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hear what you're saying, man, and I think it's kind of it's just good to have that kind of like wider context.
Good
rather
to
than-
educate yourself. Take the time to educate yourself, man.
Yeah, man. Because the thing for Brexit with me is more like why it was won, why that campaign was won, and a lot of that was just pictures of mass immigration coming
Because
through.
it's illegal what they've done.
Yeah,
It is.
100%.
The
man.
Sun was like an instruction manual. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, let's gut a press, man.
But
Like,
we're
the
voted-
Sun and
we're
the fucking
voted
Sun and
Star.
Daily Mail, man.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
voted 59th, I think, and don't even quote me on this because I might be 89th, and I'm taking this from an Akala book I'm reading. We're quoted, we're 59th or 89th in the world for freedom of press. Even Jamaica, other countries that are more probably like not as stable as ours, rank higher. Like that just shows like the whole Corbyn, whether you agree with Corbyn or not, what happened to him in the media, that is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean? It's that the media should be free, and then to know
yeah.
that 2 or 3 people own every single media outlet, and these people own them, but there's left-wing papers.
well,
It's
I
like
did media studies at uni. You
two,
saw
two birds of the
It's
same.
too much influence.
Two
It's
wings
not,
of the same
it's
bird.
not
innit?
impartial.
Yeah.
Nothing's impartial.
partial. Yeah, it's
Do you know what I mean?
influence,
It's
man.
nothing-
And there's no unbiased news sources.
Exactly.
no-
And
I
there
didn't
should
read-
be. There should be absolutely like an unbiased fucking
Exactly.
resource telling you
Exactly,
how
man.
it is, right? So
Exactly,
people
man.
can form their own opinion.
It doesn't one guy run like all 8 newspapers?
Exactly.
Yeah, fucking Rupert Murdoch, innit?
you have,
he
like-
runs Sky, Daily Mail, all
You
of
have
that, man.
you have the truth here. Then you have 8 different arguments off the different truths. So everyone's arguing when the real truth is still there.
Yeah.
If that makes
I
sense.
just had that throwback to that Simpsons episode when Rupert Murdoch comes through and he's like, "I'm Rupert Murdoch, the billionaire tyrant."
I'm Rupert Murdoch, the billionaire tyrant.
Simpsons is mad, man. You've seen all that time travel stuff.
They call
Oh
fucking
shit, yeah.
everything.
I mean,
But
I'm not a big fan of Simpsons, but man, he is. He
I am.
That
fucking
time
loves
travel
it.
stuff. What do you
Yeah,
think
how
about
can
that?
they like where President
We
Trump
spoke
goes up
about
the
this earlier,
fucking
man.
Did you?
elevator and he drops a paper and it happens in The Simpsons, but I need to search it up because you know, like a lot of these conspiracy theories, like, I see this on Facebook, innit? So I don't know whether that's a new episode or is that really an old episode from the 90s. Do you know what I mean? You can see a lot of things, and it might be bullshit. So I'm not going to sit here and say that. Do you know what I mean?
But I was
Yeah,
saying,
no, I hear
it's
that.
kind of like they've been
Yeah.
about for so long. Like by default, they cover all the ground satirically.
think,
Do you know what I
Literally
mean?
everything, yeah,
They
man.
have
the word
to.
earlier.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Satirically.
Exactly,
What does that
man.
mean?
but I will say now, like I'm Team South Park out of the fucking,
Yeah.
out of all the
Yeah.
cartoons,
come
man.
on,
South,
they're
South,
real, they
South
keep it
Park,
real,
man.
man.
I love
Trey and
American
Matt,
Dad as
Trey and
well.
Matt are
Yeah.
fucking treasures. I
Yeah.
love
American Dad's good.
American Dad's
Yeah.
quality.
Like
I rate
man.
that.
said
It's
earlier,
underrated.
the
It's
real-
underrated.
It's
I think.
underrated.
Yeah,
I think American Dad's better than Family Guy, personally.
I never
prefer
watched
it.
that much of it. Like, I like the Goldfish though. He's pretty funny.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
like
yeah.
the alien, man. Alien, man.
For
But
me,
man,
though, like,
Roger, come
Roger.
on.
Did
The one where he gets high and he's eating the Cheetos. And, Chris, oh,
I've
mate.
seen it. You know, like Trey Parker and Matt Stone, like they turned up to like
They're
this
the-
big swanky
the
award ceremony
owners
wearing
of
like
South Park.
long fucking gowns and off their tits on LSD. They just didn't give a fuck. They just rocked up like amongst all the lovies. Do you know what I mean? And they were just like,
Speaking of
Amazing, man.
Speaking of drugs, you recently dropped your latest video.
speaking of drugs.
How high?
Get high.
Get high.
Get
Oh
high.
my gosh, shit,
Yes,
sorry.
man.
Get high. Right.
high.
How difficult was it to organise this folk video with fucking loads of stoners?
Get
And touch the sky. We let go and fly. Yeah, we get high. So high. So high. So high. So high. So high.
Yo, I'm D, the mystic magic mushroom munching man. Shrooms in my pockets and my underpants. Weed where my loft is and it comes from down. Yo, I'm D, the mystic magic mushroom munching man. I get
it was hard, but I've got like we growing
Did
up
it take 3 weeks to?
No, to get to, wait, let's be on it right. So our original mandem, yeah, shout out to the mandem from back in the day, yeah. They to organise them, man, to get together is long. Like that's gonna take time. So I'd say a quarter of the people there were probably original mandem, yeah, because loads of other people didn't come. Like they had shit to do. I don't know, like rare tear. But a lot of the people there, man, like some of the real support we've had in the last couple of years since starting this are the people we've met.
Yeah, man, we've had
2
people we've
years.
met at shows and they come through, man.
So
and
ideal,
it was
man.
sick.
Because they don't carry the whole, I don't know, man. Like
It was
growing
actually
up,
pretty
yeah.
easy to film, man. It was all in my house. Like the director that I use often, Ryan Adagio.
very
Shout out
natural.
Ryan Adagio, childhood friend of mine.
Because you put out a shout out on Instagram, didn't you? And were you having people that you hadn't even met before?
Yeah,
come
yeah,
through?
yeah. I put out a shout on
a couple
Instagram
of
with a
people,
poll
yeah.
saying, "Are you coming?" And yeah, I had
Yeah,
people
2
that I
or
haven't
3
met before.
people,
Yeah,
yeah.
2 or 3
Mad.
people I hadn't met.
That's crazy.
come
What was
before.
that guy's name? Oh, I feel bad. I can't shout him out because his name. but-
Official Bodge Job.
right.
Yeah. Big up Official Bodge Job,
We're
man.
coming all the way down from where was it?
I don't even know, man.
Right.
I don't know, man.
And
I
someone had a
forgot.
gas
there.
mask on, didn't they?
Oh,
Oh, that's my
Connor.
boy Connor. Yeah, man. He had the gas mask on. That was a good idea. Yeah.
Mate, I had a fucking
So-
existential crisis wearing that shit.
By the end of filming the video,
Yeah.
was it really difficult? Because everyone was just really stoned.
Yeah.
I consumed
Yeah, it got-
like 2 grams of shrooms, mate. I
Yeah, he was on shrooms.
Fuck.
It got harder as we went along because we got more and more high. So
Yeah, yeah.
the thing is, because when you get high, it's harder to be as confident in front of camera.
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
for me anyway, everyone's
Yeah.
different, innit?
Yeah.
You got Black the Ripper just bunning them down and he's
Yeah, but
himself.
that's
but
him, innit?
That's
Yeah.
him. Everyone's different,
Yeah.
I suppose.
That's
man.
one thing that I was quite. I found out recently with People Just Do Nothing.
Yeah.
Because I always thought that they just blazed constantly through it.
Yeah, yeah,
But then
yeah.
I found out afterwards, like through some Instagram like question
Yeah.
time thing, that it was like, nah, I could not just film and blaze the whole time. It's all, I don't know, tobacco or fake weed, whatever you call it. But
yeah, man. You can't defy the science of what it does to your brain.
Of course not.
All right,
No
so
way.
It's different strains, and this is what I say the UK's lacking is we don't like unless you got bare connection, you got dough there, yeah. You're not always able to choose what you want to smoke, whether it be sativa, indica. So sometimes
how much
some stuff is
CBD,
really-
how much THC.
so sometimes it's really psychoactive.
like right now, I'm on hash because
That's
I know
why I
it's not.
smoked. That's why I smoked the skunk thing, man.
what is it with all these CBD shops popping up?
It's probably a bit of a like
What middle class thing?
Yeah.
jumping onto
Do you,
the
do
market.
you think
innit?
they're getting ready for the potential? of
Yeah,
it
I
being
think it
legalised?
will be legalized here. In London, there's loads of coffee shops already, man, hidden out.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, loads,
Okay.
man. They get raided and then they're open the next day.
Oh, wow.
Honestly, yeah. I think there's about
Pretty-
6 or 7 just around Brick Lane in Shoreditch near Liverpool Street.
Yeah, man. There's even just like shops you can just walk in. There's one.
I'll
shop
give you
that
the
I'm-
names
Yeah, I was gonna
after
say-
the show. I'll give you the names
gonna say,
after the
man,
Yeah,
show.
there's
exact
man.
one.
addresses,
Fuck
man.
it. There's one. Yeah.
You're
it's-
part of the problem, man.
Yeah.
Stop shutting this
there's
shit
one-
down.
There's one near 1001, right? People from the ends will know, yeah. And it's like just off the side road, yeah. You'll notice it, yeah. There's like a
It's like
a
Amsterdam, you've got the
Caribbean
menus,
restaurant. Yeah, man. They
everything,
just
man.
sell it in the back.
Everything,
I ain't
man.
gonna say there's that shop, but yeah, anyone will know.
So, boys, going back then, like, what got you into kind of hip hop, making music in the first place? Like, what's your kind of introduction into?
Man,
Our
so
into this
parents'
stuff.
love of music.
our parents' love of music, man, and hip hop in particular. I got bought a Nas album. I'm so
you
bad
remember
with
the one?
names. What's the song? I
Nostradamus.
know I can be
Oh,
what
yeah.
I
I
want to
think it
be.
was the best of, maybe.
Best of Nas.
No,
I
it
don't
wasn't.
know.
No, it was
not the best of, but it had like loads of different.
No,
like a
it was
collective
no, it
album
was an
or
official
something.
album,
Oh,
man. I
okay.
just forgot the name, man. But
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
And
Godson.
D12 World.
yeah,
Godson album.
yeah,
Yeah, 'cause
yeah.
it's got like Get Down on it and stuff.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
Get
that's
Get
the
Down is probably like one of the best told stories in hip
stories.
hop.
Exactly,
Do you know what I mean?
man. Exactly.
Oh, I love that track. Is just fucking sick.
Yeah, man. So yeah, it was Nas, and then
D12 World.
Then yeah,
D12.
8 Mile.
Yeah.
8 Mile. As a white kid, like I said this in an interview a couple of months ago. Shout out LDN RBS. But yeah, I said this in an interview a few months ago. Like growing up, there weren't many white rappers. Do you know what I mean? And it's not a big thing about what color you are, but you do notice that thing. Do you know what I mean?
The
you
thing
notice
is,
it.
man, like we spoke about this before we started
Yeah.
recording. I mean, like hip hop is black music,
Yeah,
like,
of
and it's
course.
kind of like you have to respect that fact.
Mm.
Do
Yeah,
you know
of
what I mean?
course.
And you have
100%.
to embrace that culture, and you have to kind of acknowledge it. That's completely cool. And I think
Yeah,
if
man.
you do it with integrity and you always kind of do that, then I think that's
Yeah.
fucking fair play. And
And it's the stuff he spoke about I related to, innit? Because
Yeah,
we
yeah.
went to a very multicultural school, but because I was into the hip hop scene and more into that vibe, like we would be normally the only 2 white kids. Do you know what I mean? So to then go watch 8 Mile and see someone in the same position and fucking smash it, it gives you the motivation to do the same. Do you know what I mean?
You grew up in like Walthamstow.
Walthamstow, man.
Kind of predominantly black area.
Down the road from Lethal Bizzle, so like grime was the first thing that I jumped on and started rapping on grime music. Like Lethal Bizzle, Dizzy Rascal, Kano, you had the Streets, like Mitchell Brothers.
So how did you make the switch to then hip hop?
How did we make the switch to hip hop?
Because right. So right.
If we go back to the way back to the
beginning. So where
beginning.
we grew up, So where we grew up is weird. So we lived. Well, originally we grew up in Baker's Arms. So
there's a pub down the road, by the way, like Baker's Arms roundabout.
That's where we got into our grime and that. But when we moved, because
Baker's Arms is later.
About 12, we moved to another part of Walthamstow, more near the Chingford side. And we started going to the skate park a lot, so we met a lot of the olders there, and they used to graffiti, so we met a lot of writers and that, and they were heavily into people like Jest, Task Force, Mud Family, Skinnyman, all them.
And these men were still talking the same crud,
but over
and the same environment,
but more intellectual.
To an extent, more intellectual. I'm not saying that there aren't bare intellectual grime artists. You got Devlin, you got Getz. There's people fucking smashing out there on grime, but I felt like at the time, like Task Force, their lyricism is absolutely insane.
And the hip hop
Butterfly Concerto, like
Chester P's a legend.
The day I hit them levels,
I love Chester P, man.
Unsung heroes.
Chester P's just out there like living his life now.
He is, man.
He's like one of the most influential rappers in the UK, but he's so fucking normal. Do you know
and
what
he's
I mean?
so humble. He's
so
turning
humble,
up
man.
at poetry events and stuff like that, man.
And that's
like,
how it
ground roots. That's
I
what
ain't got
it is.
to meet the guy myself yet. So.
No, I haven't. We met Skinnyman though.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that
Another
was
legend,
sick. I had big love to Skinnyman. We met him at an event called Mind Over Matter 2 months ago.
Mental health awareness.
For mental health awareness, me and my brother did a 32 bar back to back
at the legendary Fiddler's Elbow.
Elbow in Camden, and he just fucked with it, man.
Yeah,
Come
man.
outside, started speaking to us, and fingers crossed we can get a collab going. But
man,
I'll hit him up.
Next level.
I've got his number. Do you know how much of a big thing it is for me to have Skinny Man's number on my fucking phone?
Should we call him now?
Shall we call him and get him on the
There's times
podcast?
I'm growing up, like, although I'm listening to Kano and shit at the same time, but there's times going through mad shit in my head, like growing up, living in the ends, and it was people like, oh, what's that song? Task Force on the Blocks. We used to be chilling on the block and we'd be listening to, because we got introduced to that song by the Olders. And
because although we're into madness as kids, we were more conscious, man. So we knew it.
Obviously, that we said with our parents, we were always really well educated, and
man.
so we avoided a lot of stuff. And the stuff we did get into, we done it smartly. Sort of thing,
and I think it was only from 30. My parents split up when we were 13, and that's when like. From like 13 to sort of like 19 is when we went through our bad patch, got into a lot of bullshit, but it's made us who we are today. Do you know what I mean, man? It's given me stuff to talk about.
100%, mate.
100%,
It's just,
man.
Because your last interview I thought was quite interesting, because you said about the age of sort of 24 is when you grew up.
Yeah, man.
Just sort of
we spoke about this earlier.
Again, I've been reading like. Shout out to Akala again. I'm going through a lot reading the book, man. It's mad. Like, it's humbling me, man. It's making me think about a lot of things I ain't thought about before, especially as like a white working class, like British boy, whatever. Yeah, but yeah, he's talking about like how when you become 25, it's just like this feeling, just this weight off your. It might be something to do with testosterone.
Yeah, well, scientific, they do say
biological,
that.
but it's the same shit that I used to care about. That I used to really care about what people thought of me. Like, I wouldn't even be doing this now. Like, do you know what I mean? Like now, I feel like I'm happy to be an open book, and I'm not scared of criticism. And I could be sitting on a train and someone could screw face me, and I genuinely don't care. I just want to go home and get on with my life. But 100%. It's taken. That has happened in a year. Yeah. Obviously, I can, if I'm out drunk and that, I can still be a knobhead. Like,
what's going on?
I'm just waiting for a mate.
Is that why your car's all smashed up and you're up on the grass at the moment, or what?
Yeah. I'm just waiting for a mate. He's gone in there.
That's
Everyone
alcohol,
can.
then,
That's alcohol, man.
No, man. When you get on it, I was saying to you boys earlier, like, and that's even more apparent when you get to your 30s. You know yourself. You don't care anymore.
Yeah.
You're just kind of yourself, and like it doesn't.
And you
fucking
see how
matter.
wrong it can go. We've seen how wrong just to even just a street fight.
Of,
like,
But
just
you've
the
got to
people
go
die,
through that.
man.
You've got
people
to
die,
not
man.
necessarily
like-
to
yeah,
those
that's
extremes.
yeah,
but
just that's always what I think about when going out to town.
And we've had friends like who've gone through madness, like fat ice.
Yeah, love to everyone we've grown up with, man.
Yeah,
but
love,
like,
man.
yeah, man. Not everyone's like everything's a bit.
Yeah,
mad.
I think everyone. Yeah, man.
Some people are doing good, some people ain't. But it's just life, man. Drugs take over as well, man. That's a big thing, man.
it's weird. Everyone
Everywhere.
has like a vice, don't they? Like a crutch.
Yeah,
like they have to
man.
lean on.
Yeah,
like whether
man.
that's
And
alcohol,
some drugs are worse than others, man. That's
Exactly.
just the fact of it, mate.
Exactly,
Do you know
man.
what I mean?
So what's next for like Kings Cvstle? Because like we were speaking earlier, you've got a very kind of like it's very like a disciplined release schedule. Like you've released a lot of singles over the past 2 years.
So far we've done
and
loads of singles, man.
Yeah, but
loads.
it's
It's
building
good
up towards
it's
something.
built. It's yeah. Do you know what? Like some people say, why haven't you done a project yet? Why haven't you done a project yet? And I was just happy releasing singles, like and it does help you build. I want to build a fan base. I want to build a following. But next is an EP. We got an EP. I might drop one more single before this EP. Really close to my heart. Written about a year and a half ago. I performed it for the first time on Thursday, didn't I?
What are you calling it? Changing. Mate,
Yeah,
even
man.
me as his twin brother, it brings tears to my eyes. I think, you know, like toxic. This is what I mean. All these poetry events and that, man. Opening my head.
Like,
up
it's
to
breaking down, like-
yeah, toxic masculinity. Like things about just being honest, man. Like yeah, we're all men out here. We've all even now how I'm talking. I don't know. It's me now. I've still got this thing, this facade, whatever.
Yeah,
Of course, man. Everyone has.
Everyone's still, bruv. It's cool to.
That's just
like,
me.
it's
This
cool
is
to
just
be
me
down,
stripping
man.
off all the layers in this song. So I'm gonna drop that one more deep.
Yeah.
Right.
Deep track, and then this EP with Time Panic. We haven't got a name for it yet, but the guy is such an insane producer. Like,
Has you produced all your stuff so far, for the most part?
for the most part,
yeah.
mixture.
Okay.
I'd say a mixture, but this EP is solely produced by him, and he is one of the first producers. I
Shout out
started-
to Alchemist, get high.
and Alchemist as well.
Friend, Alchemist then. I was like,
No,
damn,
no.
We don't know if we're pronouncing it right. 'Cause
Yeah.
He's from France. He's a
No,
French
I think
producer.
it's AC. It's
It might be
ACLYNO.
you ain't got no alibi. Sorry, boys.
But yeah, check him out. He's sick,
check
man.
out Alchemist, man.
All right,
he produced Get High, but yeah, man. Back to Time Panic, man, because I met him 3 years. Well, I didn't meet him in person, but we started speaking on SoundCloud 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And bro, the guy has just built, man. Like,
And it's the way he produces. I know from what you've told me, he uses like vinyls and it's like
I
his
just love
methods,
how he
like,
does
yeah.
it, man, and the sounds he creates. Like,
Lo-fi.
even though there's a big jazz hop scene, like, I reckon I could decipher whether something's a beat from Time Panic or whether it's
That's
not from
crazy,
Time
man.
Panic.
I mean, that's a sign of a good
Like,
producer.
yeah, man. So I really want to. This album that's coming, it's a lot more light-hearted. There's still a lot more intellectual, hard-hitting stuff in it, but that's why we're going to drop it in summer. It's a nice vibe.
So that's a good word there, actually. Lo-fi,
Yeah.
jazz hop and chill hop is something that's only really come around like sort of recently.
Yeah,
So
man.
obviously you did putting out music
It's
before that you
replicating
came
what
across
music
that.
used to sound like before there was a technology there to get it so crisp. Like people talk about this warm feeling, this warm sound, and yeah, it's there.
I love that.
I love
crackle.
it, but it's there because of
Yeah.
It's like lo-fi.
It gives me the feeling
yeah.
of sitting in a dark room, dimmed light, smoking a spliff,
Yeah.
and rain hitting the window.
Yeah.
That's
It's
the
what
feeling
is
I
what
get
is
from
perfection
that, man.
in like for
It's
me. I
quite
see what you call
polarising,
perfection
Yeah,
in
man.
music.
Like artists
yeah.
at the top of my head: Verbsy, Lord Apex, Loyal Kana, that type of vibe, man. I love.
I think it's
Benedict as well.
Benedict.
Oh, man,
I'm on a vinyl with Benedict, you know,
Is
released
it?
with Jazz Hop Caf. Yeah, man.
Because
yeah.
lo-fi,
I was
think
so gassed to be on a
That's
vinyl.
that's a
with that guy,
playlist
man.
on Spotify as well, isn't it?
Yeah, it
Yes,
is.
yeah,
I think
yeah.
it's Jazz Hop 5.
That's it,
Yeah,
yeah.
man.
Go check it.
Lo-fi
Yeah,
can
check
sound
it, check
really,
it.
really cool, but I think there are some times where it's where it's so like minimal and so basic. there's
Some of it is too
can be
minimal.
done.
Yeah.
Can be done badly. It
Yeah,
can be
man.
sloppy, and it could just be.
There's so many
Yeah.
people do it, and it's more going towards the study beats kind of thing now. And this
It's
is
just
why
like a loop and a drum beat,
This is
isn't
why
it?
I'm really fucking with Time Panic, because he's not going down that vibe. He sent me, I think, 22 beats for our EP so far. I think it might be an 8 to 10 track EP. So I've got so much to cut down from. Some tracks that might not make the EP might be.
I'm
released
recording
later
it,
in
and
the
then
mixtape.
20 years time they'll be there, man.
Yeah.
Like unreleased.
Yeah,
whatever.
So you said about you sending all those beats to you. Do
Yeah.
you try and make a song to each beat, or do you just pick and choose which ones you want to use?
Right, so I look at all of them. I pick out my favourite ones, start writing to them straight away. But he can get so repetitive, man.
course,
I love
yeah.
his beats, but it's the same with him. A producer must listen to a beat hundreds and hundreds of times. And even as a rapper, I'm listening and listening. And sometimes I'm like, right, this is getting... As soon as I get stressed and I get the feeling in my chest, like, for fuck's sake, this is pissing me off now, I just go to another beat. That's why I'm so happy. I'm doing it in sections. So I've got a verse and a chorus here, then a verse for another track, and it's just all coming together perfectly. So I really like the way we're doing it at the moment.
That's
man.
cool, man. I love what you were saying earlier about Skinnyman, the Skinnyman show you went to go and see. And
Pardon?
what was it you were saying earlier about Skinnyman, the show where he didn't, the backing track didn't work?
Yeah,
he bought a CD along, like.
Yeah, he was doing it to random beats, man. But he did cancel a state of mind to a different beat, man. But the whole thing worked.
That's incredible.
Yeah, I think all the beats got scrambled on the.
Something
deck,
happened,
so-
man. But like, he killed it.
He's just born to MC, though.
He is,
Like,
man. He's
he
fucking
just comes
sick,
to him
man.
so naturally, man.
He's sick, man. Big respect for him.
So
man.
when it comes to kind of the UK scene, like, and we talk about like UK hip hop versus like UK rap, like, why do you think that like like UK rap, the latter being more like commercially viable? You know, you kind of got your Mo Stacks and Daves, etc.
Because they're
versus
pro-capitalism. They're not talking they're talking about what the police and the government might say, but they're talking about drugs and everything. But that's not like.
I say it's materialistic in a way, but
it's pro-capitalist.
No, I don't know. Like, where
Dave's album's not really.
Yeah,
like, Dave's
innit?
honest,
I
innit?
know, I rate that, and
Right.
people do come through. But I remember, like, a lot of original hip hop, like, was very I've said this in the last interview, anti-establishment music.
Don't you think
it was
that, you know,
fuck
like
you
the
to
earlier
system,
stuff, like you were saying, like Mud Fam and like Skinnyman and like fucking Task Force, they were very much of that ilk, right?
Yeah.
Whereas like now, like a lot of like UK artists, and I love it, a lot of it, but it's kind of, you know, where they're from more like backwaters in the UK, and they're just rapping about fucking aliens and drugs, and it's not really, they're not really saying anything. They don't come from a struggle. Do you know what I mean?
like a lot of the UK hip hop.
But why? I still don't think you should have to come from a struggle to enter the scene. It's for everyone.
But how relatable is that?
Yeah, it's not
I love
relatable to
pain
me, so I
music.
won't listen to that. But if I'm getting waved off my head and I'm at a party taking bare shrooms and getting on one, I'll listen to that.
What I'm tying it back to is like the viability. Do you know what I mean? In terms of like why one is kind of more like is killing it commercially versus the other, because we often talk about like UK hip hop, and it's kind of it's fixed in the underground because it would lose its appeal as soon as it becomes commercially viable. Do you know what I mean? People like it for the fact that it is in the undergrounds.
But I fully agree with what you're saying.
Do you know what I mean?
In all right, so UK hip hop rappers that really speak real shit and are from the ends, and I can relate to it. They're from struggle. Is people like Clash and Cough, Skinnyman. I've already said that.
Verbs, man, as well.
Verbs. Verbs is fucking sick, man. So
how
cold.
old is Verbs? He must be like
He's only like 23.
23,
yeah.
23. Actually, no, he was 24 the other day on your birthday.
He does bits. He does bits with Loud. Shout out Loud House as well, man.
And Stinking Slum Rock as well, man.
Stinking Slum Rock as well. 100%.
Your boys, aren't you?
Yeah, boys grew
man.
up in there. Well, he was like older to us. Grew up in the same skate park, and man, it's sick seeing him do his
hard,
thing,
but
man.
yeah, back to this UK rap thing. Like, I fully agree with what you're saying, because it's not all about UK rap's not just doing better because it's more what's the word?
Commercially viable.
No, more capitalist and all that. You can't really say that because Dave's got some real tracks, man. And Jay Huss, like I was saying to you, I got so much respect.
Maybe it's doing better because it's what kids are fucking with now, because it's showing how fucked society is at the moment, that all kids care about now is trainers, fucking getting money, getting this, getting that, because of media, because of multiple different parts of society. Shit's going on.
But bro, listen to a Jay Huss album, listen to his albums, and listen how the stuff he talks about is so real, and you can still vibe to it.
Yeah, man.
It's still. I got so much respect for Jay Huss.
What do you think of his latest album?
Conspiracy theory, innit?
Yeah, hard.
Yeah,
I
man.
ain't listened to
Common sense.
And it's kind of like we spoke about this. It's like it's good because he's kind of like, you could bum that in the club, you hear it, and you've still got like the auto tune, you've still got the Afro beats, you've still got the kind of like commercial sound and shit. But then he comes through with the fucking bars, and you're like, oh damn, man.
And how do I pronounce it? Pastelou?
Oh man,
the new guy that comes out.
Me, man.
Yeah.
Frontline.
Yeah,
bang on.
Demolai.
Because regardless of what they're talking about, it
was real to them, man.
It's still like, I see rappers, as reporters. they're journalists
that's the
from
interesting
the
way of
end.
looking at it.
Whether they're talking about the most fucked up shit you might not agree with, they're still showing that that's what's going on. If that shit wasn't happening in the first fucking place, they wouldn't be saying it. So when there's all these drill rappers and all the politicians or whatever in the media are part, this is why stabbings are happening. No, stabbings are happening because there's no fucking youth clubs, bruv. These kids aren't being educated properly. Maybe if there was all of that, they wouldn't be rapping about this shit.
I know,
So,
man. It's weird, like we were saying, innit? It's kind of like people are more outraged by like what people are saying versus the fucking act itself.
Yeah,
so like
man.
rather the act of violence or like the rape, etc., people are more like,
Yeah.
oh, you made a joke about
Not
violence
the
or rape.
symptom.
You're
Why are
rapping
you
about
attacking the
violence.
symptom?
Yeah,
Attack
man.
the cause.
Fucking
Yeah,
idiots.
man.
Yeah, and that's that,
Yeah,
bruv.
man.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, man, I'd say that back to the UK rap and why it's hard to say because you got Loyal Kana, UK hip hop come through. Wasn't he nominated for a Brit Award last year?
Yeah, and he was at Glasgow.
I suppose
he's
he's
got
done really well, man.
Jest
He's
on
done
his first
bits.
album, didn't
Yeah,
he?
I loved
man.
how
Yeah.
he did a show recently. He bought on Skinnyman.
Yeah,
Yeah, he did. A show. I'm pretty sure he did a show in. I don't know whereabouts it
He was out with
but he did a show.
you know, like Pitch 92 and that, who was on the podcast like a few months ago.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
They were all out because obviously Pitch is works a lot with Jest, and Jest has worked with Loyal Kana before, so we all had like, a night out in London. It was on the Instagram.
The thing
I was
for
like,
me as
man,
well
imagine
is
that night out, man.
how do you decipher how
nuts.
do you decipher the difference between UK rap and UK hip hop? Let's go to someone like Benny Banks and K-Code. Are they UK rap or are they hip hop?
UK rap, man. I'll tell
Like,
you
what beat, like what makes hip hop hip hop? Boom
This
bap.
is it. Like it's weird, yeah. Like in my mind, yeah. So
But original hip hop is like
originally,
African,
when it was derived,
African Mombata and stuff like that, which sounds nothing like what we call
so that's
hip
kind of your
hop.
golden age, isn't it?
We're calling like Method Man,
Let's
Red
just
Man
bring it
stuff
to
hip
now.
hop.
Just
Let's
onto
bring it
this,
to
though.
now.
Onto this.
90s hip hop is not hip hop.
That's a good
Hip
little
hop,
tangent,
actual
though.
hip hop is 80s hip hop,
That's
and
a-
it's all like,
Okay,
yo,
yeah,
we
you've got
get
to-
down on the ground and we're talking on the duh. That's hip hop, G.
That's a
It
good
comes from
fucking
funk
tangent, though. That's a good
and
tangent.
Motown and that sort of stuff.
Because Africa Bombata, like he's like basically a pedo, isn't he? Like he was kind of like called out for that
Oh,
shit.
nonsense, isn't
And
it?
then-
I didn't
and
really
then-
know that,
Yeah,
yeah.
Africa
So now
Bombata.
I'm regretting shouting out my
but
man.
it's
So
just a good little
fuck him,
tangent.
fucking
So like
pedo
KRS,
cunt.
like KRS-One, yeah, KRS-One's obviously like a legend, but he's been kind of like brought under fire recently, like for the last few years for not being like, I don't know the ins and outs, but like an apologist for Africa Bombata, like not
Okay.
acknowledging like
It's the
what
same
he's been
shit with R.
accused of.
Kelly when everyone's like, oh well, it happened to them when they were, but that's not excusable.
Different,
fam. He's done what
different
he's done.
time. It's like,
Different
no, man,
time.
it's
What do you
fucking
mean
nonce,
different
like-
time, bro? He's a
man.
nonce is a nonce.
Yeah,
man.
exactly, man. But
Yeah,
no, I hear
man.
your point though. Like golden age kind of rap, that kind of like, you know, kind of your Ice T's and like even like the '70s shit, like Sugar Hill Gang and all that kind
And
of
rap, what do you do? Like spoken word and rhyme has been going on for years. Like they watch
But wait.
hip hop evolution. They trace it back to like the 1920s. Like, what is hip hop to you? The beat or the lyrics? Like, would hip hop have ever been hip hop if it weren't for the rappers? Like, yeah, at first it was just like house. It was man mashing it up on the decks, having like a 4-bar, then switching it back using the breaks and that. But before hip hop was hip hop, when the first album come out and people recorded, do you know what I mean?
It's Sedgwick
It's
Avenue,
what
man.
do you
Like, so
call
that, the
hip-hop?
parties were like the kind of inception of hip hop. But it wasn't until like
it's a culture, the
later
graffiti,
on,
the
when
dancing.
record, yeah, exactly. When the first record came out,
Yeah.
and there's more of a movement to it, isn't there? You know,
I think a lot of people define hip hop from the 90s hip hop.
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
boom
like,
bap.
yeah, boom
But that's
bap,
UK
yeah.
hip hop in my like.
Yeah, I
if you-
think that's when, because that's when UK hip hop really started, wasn't
yeah,
it?
yeah.
So like, what would
That's
I
where it came
be?
from,
What
big
would
bap.
you call us?
We're every-
UK rap.
UK rap? Would you
'Cause
call us UK rap?
Yeah, versus because you don't have that like. So if you look at it subjectively,
Yeah, but what about Get High?
So
That's UK hip hop. no?
UK hip hop though, I look at kind of like your kind of Task Force Jess, and it's very like
Yeah.
derived from the boom bap era of New
Yeah,
York.
yeah.
So you've got the kind of like
They're
the loop- you've got
replicating
the
that with
loops.
English accents.
Exactly, man.
yeah.
And even though it's sick and it's very much UK,
And they've got the
what you
scratching.
guys are doing is like an evolution of that. So it's
Yeah.
kind of more, it's more contemporary. Do you
No,
know what I mean?
So like,
You've
Get
got
High, UK rap or UK hip hop?
But
I'd get high. I would say
don't
hip hop.
Sound, it's all just music. All it is
Yeah,
multiple sounds that obviously I'm talking from a scientific musical aspect now. It's just
I'm
a
saying-
bunch of
yeah,
different
yeah.
sounds, like different arrangements that make us as human beings
Right.
do different things.
But
Like,
there's a track.
it's mad.
There's a
how
Mac
we-
Miller
Yeah,
and
I know,
Benny
I feel
Banks
that, man.
track.
I feel
Mac-
it.
I know
Mac Miller's
think.
hip hop,
Bit deep,
Benny Banks
but,
UK rap. Well, when they've made that track now, what is it?
Yeah, man,
Judge
it's
it
a
by the
baby.
beat, bruv.
UK hip rap.
But we've had this conversation. We've had this conversation through the fact that we've had Compound on, and Compound is like, you know, Compound from High Focus, and then the likes of like sort of Dat Kid. But Dat Kid's earlier stuff is, I would say, is more UK hip hop. But then his latest album, when he goes over more heavier sort of grime sort of style.
Yeah, he does. He's
and that's
mixed it.
then
He's
now
mixed
I
it.
would
To
then
be
put
fair,
that to
man,
UK
that
rap.
kid's cold,
to
man.
your point, man, I think you're right. Like setting parameters for this shit. If you're looking at it, like, I guess from that perspective, I would associate UK hip hop with boom bap. If I hear that kind of like, you know, the drum loop and that repetitive shit, I'd be like, right, that's UK hip hop versus UK rap, which is a bit more kind of experimental, a bit more kind of contemporary, a bit more trappy, a bit more hybrid of stuff.
Yeah.
But
So then you've got lo-fi hip hop.
I'm not necessarily right.
Then you've got
I'm just
lo-fi
saying.
hip hop. That's not really boom bappy. It's so like.
I'm not necessarily right, by the way. This is just like how I associate these different genres. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like I don't necessarily think you can. And all these artists who are actually booming right now, like fucking Kaz is Dead and like
sick.
fucking Slow Tie, like
Slow Tie. He's going towards punk.
He's
now
a punk
little bit.
artist, man.
Oh,
He's a punk artist. Do you know what I mean? He's like,
and he started with that grime, like, what's that song?
But grime
Doorman.
is
that's
very
it.
much a modern day version of punk.
yeah.
No, I can't
Yeah,
get
yeah,
one
for
from
sure,
my
man.
So,
gaff.
like, because it's both really direct, isn't it? In
Especially
terms of its
original
delivery.
grime. What grime is called now from what it was originally, it was just you talk shit. You said that I'm not even gonna bring up my old 8-bar. Fuck it.
Do it.
No,
Do it.
I can't. I can't even remember it. But
It's
you just,
myself
no,
crisis. Leave man with 20
Myself crisis.
slices.
Leave man with 20 slices when I'm not on my nicest. Oh, I forgot it. But you just and again, and you just do that. But it was really like raw. The compressor, there might not even be compression on the fucking track. It was very raw. It's like when punk started. Like obviously I studied all this shit at uni, so everyone was getting bored of all this progressive rock. So punk just come with like man just playing like 3 chords, 2 chords or whatever, and then just shouting shit. Do you know what I mean? It was very fuck you. Like we're bored of this conservative bullshit.
So where do you think trap falls then?
I don't know, because trap is American.
Southern,
I don't
really,
know.
isn't it?
Or no, trap or drill.
When trap first come out, so you know there was dubstep,
Yeah.
and then there was this new genre, and they were calling it trap, and it was
Trap
like
step.
dubstep, but there was no rapping on it.
Bruv, I've been to raves like that. Yeah, trap step raves.
Like genres, it's so hard to.
But I
decipher
think here
between.
in the UK, we really fuck with genres and
Alright,
cause
so
there's
now-
cult
so-
followad. In America,
so
it's
what's
a lot
trap
more,
music now?
It's a lot more
Like, what
broad.
would you
So
call
like
trap
originally
music
there,
now?
like I would say trap originated from like the southern states of the
Yeah.
US, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, kind of
Like
Atlanta. and all-
Atlanta, that
Yeah,
sort.
exactly. Yeah, exactly.
I need to get.
So
I
a
need
trap
to
flow
watch
now is
Hip Hop
the-
Evolution. I need to watch this bit. I don't know about trap.
That's a good point, man. Because I'd associate trap more with the beat as opposed to
As opposed
flow.
to the flow.
Yeah. So like what you were just kind of saying, that's kind of like the mumble rap kind of style, isn't it? And it's more vibey. Like,
And I still fuck with mumble rap. I've got nothing against it.
Certain
vibe,
types,
innit?
certain mumble
It's a
rap
vibe,
is
innit?
awful.
Yeah.
It depends what you want.
It's a skill. Remember, this is what I say. Yeah, using auto tune. You're using an instrument. The same way when people first started using drum machines and that, you'd get all the original drummers, or when people started using all these things, the guitarists going, this is bullshit. You can use auto tune as an instrument. If you're smart with it, you can make it work.
J-Hus.
Bro,
Do you know what I mean?
You got to be
It's
talented. You
an
still got to be
instrument.
talented to
Perfect
make
example,
it.
man.
Like, I've been in
Yeah.
studios where people use auto tune and it's mad. Like I think when I first started, like someone wanted me to do an auto tune track. I never released it, but like I really did not sound good on it.
Yeah, you really have but I've got videos. Obviously, I ain't gonna bring them up, but I've got videos of like where I've recorded them and they're rapping auto tune. But before the auto tune hits, you have to sound like what they're doing is mad. If you hear it without the auto tune,
Yeah,
that's
it
what I mean. It's
sounds
a skill.
ridiculous.
Yeah,
You're
man.
using
Did you,
using your voice as an instrument.
Do you
to-
boys watch like Tiny Desk and stuff on MTV?
Yeah, man. Come on, I watch
Yes.
Tiny Desk. Yeah.
What's this?
I watched
I'm missing
Chronics.
out.
Oh, man.
Chronics. Did you watch Wycliffe's thing?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. And he's playing the guitar behind his back with a mug with his mouth.
Because the reason I bring that
Fucking
up,
hell,
man,
bro.
is like, you know, T-Pain was like, he's the auto tune
Yeah,
king,
yeah,
innit?
yeah,
He did a
Apple,
fucking...
apple bottom. That's
No,
that's-
you just fucked it, bro. That's
Yeah,
the
no,
one,
no,
mate.
that was-
T-Pain did something with Chris Brown, like
T-Pain
I swear
is the auto-tune guy. And he was just like,
well, like he brought it to the forefront.
But he did this Tiny Desk concert without auto-tune, and he smashed it.
Yeah, mad.
And you kind of think, right, back in the day when I was young and ignorant, I thought, nah, if you're a commercial artist, like, you're shit, and I don't want to know why I only fuck with the underground. It's like, nah, because these people are the ones who can cope with the pressure. Like, if anything, do you know what I mean?
That's
like,
what I say to my brother, resilience.
Yeah,
even if you're not even that talented at the music side itself, do you know how much you have to have so much resilience to even be at that level.
Drake walking in front of that many people and performing.
Yeah, I still think Drake's hard.
But what is music to
I
you?
think Drake's sick. He's a lyricist. He's got some sick fucking songs,
would be so,
man.
mate. The amount of differing opinions coming through these doors, are like a lot of people rate Drake. A lot of people fucking hate Drake.
But he's a sick songwriter.
I just don't really have an opinion on him, to be honest.
Yeah, but look, he's a sick, solid songwriter, man.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I just don't
Look
fuck
now,
with him.
look now. Like modern day, we're not only us as artists, not everyone, but we're actors now. We're making short films, regardless of how good your lyrical content is. If you can bring that back visually, like even like ASAP Rocky, AJ Tracy, like they're sick at spitting. Their bars aren't the best, but I don't know if it's actually them putting all their thought into the directing, but do you know what I mean?
ASAP
Like you're
Rocky's
a character
a businessman,
now.
man. Like
What
he
do you
knows,
see
like,
music as? And even back in the day, if you follow back to like jazz, funk, why do you think funk's called funk? Because it comes from brothels. Funk was first played in brothels, and funk was called funk because that's the smell of like funk. You know what I mean? This is what I mean. It's always from.
Yeah, man. I hear that.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly, man. I think like, people like that, I think are business minded. ASAP Rocky, for example, not to be confused with
He's
ASAP
sick
Rock.
though, man. I fucking rate his music.
Yeah, some of his stuff
man.
shit. Some of his stuff's sick, but I went to see him live in Brixton Academy like about 7 years ago, and it was whack, man. He was.
Yeah, was he?
Yeah, he was dead.
Yeah.
He tried to do this like rendition of Prince's Purple Rain. He just got booed.
Just booed.
Yeah,
Fuck,
but to be fair, like I fuck with a lot of his stuff. I love that One Train.
But there's
track.
that resilience. He got booed and he's still out here killing it.
Oh mate, he didn't give a fuck.
Do
Do you know what I mean?
Go, man.
Yeah, exactly.
But I see a video of him the other day, bruv, all bras that he had so many bras and knickers thrown at him. He's just there wearing them all and shit.
Did you see that video where he's like having a fucking row with these lads in a kebab shop?
In London.
Yeah. Fuck off, mate.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
He even got exposed on a sex tape recently as well.
Man.
Everyone was outing him for his stroke game, and then he fucking. The reply he gave to it, I can't remember it, but it was so fucking good. Like it just shut down everyone.
I used to love watching
man,
his little chats with Danny Brown as well. You know Danny Brown?
No, I can't
Danny
say
Brown.
Oh, he's got a new Vice program actually.
Danny
Brown.
Brown.
Danny Brown's house.
I'm not
Danny's
gonna.
house.
One thing me and Peter are awful with his names.
So Danny Brown,
so-
right? He's kind of like hipster rapper. He's from Detroit, black guy, and he's got kind of a very like distinct delivery. Like he's kind of a nasally, like na 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 na. But his music's insane, man.
Sick, man.
And it is one of his music videos that came out like a couple of years ago. Like fucking Jonah Hill directed it.
Mad.
Yeah.
Jonah Hill, yeah.
But yeah, he's sick, man. Danny Brown is levels. He's like got lyrics, but he's got that kind of like
I'll have to check him
hipster
out if I
appeal.
haven't heard
He
him
comes from like
before.
a fucking like trap house background as well. He used to like sling all kinds of
Did you
shit.
see that film that
He's got
Jonah
like
Hill did?
missing teeth and shit.
Yeah.
What,
But
he's
he's
got a film
G.
and that?
Yeah, did you see that film Jonah Hill did? What's it called?
Oh, mid-90s.
Mid-90s, yeah.
Mid-90s, man. You boys are into your skating.
Yeah, let me write this in on my phone.
Oh yeah,
man.
big up the skate scene, man.
Check it
Come
on,
on,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
on
So it's
Netflix.
basically like a hangout movie.
It's good.
Yeah.
And it's like,
It's like a coming of age sort of thing, isn't it?
Yeah,
do you remember that Larry Clark film Kids from back in the day? Larry
Fuck
Clark's
me, that
basically a
film was-
paedophile, but like it was one of those.
Basically
films-
like the AIDS film, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
So being in London, do you find it harder to come up as an artist than, say, for example, if you were based in a place like Bristol or Brighton? The reason I ask this is because even though there's a thriving sort of hip hop community in Bristol and Brighton, obviously it's quite close knit.
Yeah,
so
easier to get an audience.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So is it? Do you find it quite difficult being in London?
Yeah,
right, because of the type of music we make. So when we go to events, we're bar one or two other rappers. We're usually the only ones that are doing like you call it UK rap, but like UK hip hop, conscious UK rap type stuff.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? There's
new
a lot
school UK hip hop.
Yeah, there's a lot of drill. Yeah, let's call it new school hip hop. Let's call it that. Let's call it that just for the sake.
UK hit rap.
UK hip rap. That's what. Yeah, but yeah, we're usually the only ones, aren't we? Like, there's a lot of drill.
But yeah, like you said, in London, there's multiple different cult followings. Whereas, say, if we were in Bristol right now, especially as twin brothers or other towns, wherever, yeah, it'd be easier because not saying in Bristol everybody knows everybody, but there's towns that you know a lot more people.
Yeah.
So it's easier to build that sort of scene when other rappers are doing the same thing. Whereas in London right now, we've got multiple friends in this hip hop rap scene, but we're all doing different genres of music. So we won't even be able to jump on tracks with each other. Yeah, we've all got love for each other, but it's different. We all attract different. Yeah, it's been quite not difficult to attract a crowd.
The thing is, though, London is a blessing, and if you talk to people from up north and Manchester and Liverpool, like London. There's stuff going on every. I could perform every single day.
Right.
There's events
all
the time.
We'd have choice
Open
of probably
mics.
like 3 or 4. Not saying like I'm not in a big-headed way like they're all gonna pay us, but even if I'm just an open mic rapper who've never done it before, it's my first day, and every single day of the week I'd have probably maybe even 10 events.
A lot of rappers do move down to London to make it. Like that's why I've got big respect for Bugsy Malone, man. Like he is literally.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna.
H as well, yeah.
Yeah, H as well, but Bugsy Malone in particular,
on.
he's one of my. He's the guy I go to for motivation.
I'm
man.
not huge on H, but yeah, Bugsy Malone.
Bugsy Malone, and he
Rags to
started with
riches.
UK hip hop.
Yeah, man.
Have you heard? Nightmares and his go back to his older stuff, man. And it's proper UK hip hop based. It is, man. But that guy's just so motivational. His dedication, like his personality is similar to mine. Like that's how me and Daniel differ. I'm up at 7:30, 5 hours a night. Plan. I've got the diary. We're doing this. We're doing that. This is happening. I'm writing because I'm creative, but I'm a lot more into the actual writing aspect of it. He's more creative and laid back, and it's such a good balance that we've got. Because I'm stressing. He's like, bro, chill, and I'm like, he's too chill, and I'm like, bro, we need to get there on time, man.
In it, like you're still in your boxes, fam, in your bed, bro.
Get up, man. I woke him up this morning. I was like,
we got the wrong train, like the ticket inspector.
Yeah, we got the wrong train because of this guy. Yeah. That's why I was half an hour late to meet you.
What's the wildest shit you boys have pulled off being twins, like in terms of like switching places and stuff?
We used to do it loads in school, man.
Yeah, we went through a lot of stuff at schools. Like originally, like secondary school wise, we've originally both went to a boys' school together, and not went through a lot of shit, but we had each other's backs, innit? And then at year 9, I got moved to another school and separated, but I think that really taught us how to become independent, like individual, like especially standing up for ourselves. Because me and him together, we're one, but we're different people. Like I went to Ibiza, done seasons in Ibiza and that. Like as individuals, we're still our own people. Like when he went uni, like bro, you were P. Everyone knew who you were. Like,
that's what I really, because I went to uni. Like when I went to uni, like it was a big thing. Like I wasn't known as Twin. I've always been called Twin. Do you know what I mean? It was this is Peter. Everyone knew me for me. I started my rap thing, and I in the Kings Cvstle was more focused on me at the beginning. Do you know
like
what
one
I mean?
day, like there's not to say one day that me and him, like I still want to go off and do my own thing. Like even political opinions and in terms of how savage I'll say.
Yeah, he's a bit more savage than me. Do you know what I mean? He's a bit more reckless.
Bit of a renegade.
One day I might have to.
I like to think before I speak.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
I do. But, do you know what
Makes
I mean?
for entertaining podcasts.
Yeah, man. No, for real.
Does being twins mean that you do like subconsciously like dress similar as well?
Yeah,
but this isn't a choice.
And this is I just took this on. This is my jacket. This is my jacket, man.
Bro, do you know what?
He's a minimalist.
But
he's only a minimalist because you got me as a twin brother, so he's got all my clothes to rock. So
forget about that. The jacket I set on fire.
Yeah, he's been using. Yeah, set my jacket on fire.
Obviously, I was bunning a zoo. Yeah, I forgot the stove was on. So I've leant up and I'm just talking away, and Peter's like, bro, where's that smoke coming from? And I've looked, I'm like, and that's not the story, because the original story, that jacket, originally he lent me his jacket on a night out. We got in a fight, jacket ripped. And he was like, bro, just throw it away. And I was like, no, I'm going to get it repaired. I'll take it to the tailor's. Got it repaired. I think it was second week. Then it set on fire.
There was smoke coming up behind his
head. Melting it, melted all it. Bad burns, everything.
Yeah, amazing.
So, lads, right, before we wrap up, what's next for Kings Cvstle, man?
So, we got the EP with Time Panic. Aiming for June. We're aiming for June. It's definitely going to be this summer.
And near our birthday, we'll drop that.
Yeah, man, because it's got summer vibes. So it's
nice, man.
Because a lot of my stuff has been very deep. It's still going to be deep, and you're going to hear a lot of real shit on it. But like the beats, they're more uplifting, man, aren't they? There is a couple of deep beats in there.
Everything's real though, man. Like even party stuff is real. It's real.
Everything's
to the
real, man. It's gonna
environment
fit
that you're
summer.
listening to
It's gonna
it
fit
at the
summer,
time.
and then mixtape after that. Hopefully for Christmas, if not just after Christmas.
Yeah, I think we're gonna ease back on the performances for the next couple months because, like we're saying, we're working full time. Like we ain't, do you know what I mean? So
yeah,
we've got to
need to pay the bills.
innit?
As long as you got a plan up there, man. That's
Yeah,
all that
we got
matters,
a plan, man. So
LP on the cards eventually.
yeah,
Yeah,
definitely, and then the album, man. And I really want to do something.
You need to
do you know Plan B, like a story album? I really want
yeah,
stuff to
concept
merge,
piece.
or the streets, a grand don't come for free, where everything merges, man. But that shit's some really like.
That's the streets, the grand.
It's your favourite type of album, isn't it, Tom?
Yeah,
No,
but
but
concept album.
Yeah, man. But that shit
Like
you
a
really have to
concept
focus on, man. I need to get back into my reading. Like, I'm enjoying rapping at the moment, but I feel like since Coldplace, I wrote Coldplace 2 years ago when I was heavily into reading for university and everything. So
Check that track out. It's fucking banging.
yeah,
by the way.
Coldplace is real,
Fucking
man.
sick
So
track.
I'm gonna get back into my reading and just really get back into the lyricism and deep stuff, man. Because that's what I'm about.
Well, really, honestly, I appreciate you boys coming
No,
through.
thank you
like,
so
Thank
much,
you for
man.
coming down,
Blessing.
man.
Thank you
Love,
so
man.
much.
Honestly,
We've
you
wanted
man
to
are
come
doing
on this
bits,
for a
man.
long while,
I know,
man.
man. It's good that we've finally made it happen.
No, I'm happy, man. It's at the right time. It's happened, innit?
Yeah,
a few
man.
months ago, or half a year ago, or whatever, it would have been different, innit?
And you lot are doing big bits for the
yeah, no, for real,
the UK
man.
culture,
Love,
man.
Honestly,
Do you know what I mean?
Mate, we just roll the camera, man. That's all we do, and we
Nah.
chat. That's all we do. We're nothing.
Yeah, but
Do you
you've
know what I'm saying?
started
real,
the platform, man. Do
Yeah,
you know what I
man.
mean? You've had some big people come
Exactly.
down. And
There's no discrimination. You got everyone on here. You got old school dons. You got new school dons. You got people from different fucking genres. Like, it's natural, man. It's
Thanks,
real,
man.
do you know what I
Appreciate
mean?
that.
Like,
Yeah,
real
yeah,
talk,
no,
man.
It's
Have
sick.
you got
Thank
anyone
you.
to shout out before?
Right, yeah,
Right,
man.
from the ends, right? Big up Blood and Bones, innit?
Yeah,
My
man.
guy from the ends, UK Rap Donny. Check him out. I think it's at Blood
And Bones.
on or and
No, at Blood, then N Bones on Instagram.
obviously
He's
Nero
hard.
the DJ, his DJ NIRO, and then DJ just done a tour with D Block Europe. Fucking
Shit,
Charlie
man.
Blair, yeah, my flatmate, man. Wanted to shout out my flatmate. Check her out.
She's doing bits for hip hop
The
at the
Blair
moment, man.
Academy. She's doing hip hop bits for hip hop in ways that people don't appreciate. She's at the moment she's doing stuff for care homes, reaching out to people who.
So she's bringing hip hop to people that are like
yeah,
90
old
years
people.
old.
She's got people
Yes.
98 years
Yeah,
old
man.
skanking to fucking hip hop and that,
Yeah,
man.
and I've got to big up my girlfriend, 100%, man. No, because honestly, shit's changed since she's come into my life a year and a half ago. Like, my motivation has just doubled.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And because my motivation's doubled, it's had an impact on you as well.
Yeah,
so.
come on, big up Sophie.
Yeah, innit? Big up Sophie, man.
Now with the lotion shit, but yeah.
But no, honestly, boy, on a few boys
Yeah.
coming through, and
Yeah, thank you, man.
Yeah,
Thank
it'd be
you.
good to catch you boys live
Yeah,
in the future, man.
100%.
Thank you.
You boys
Hopefully
headed
we're down in Bournemouth soon,
man,
or
make it happen.
yeah,
to
man,
perform
we'll make
here,
it
man.
happen.
Yeah, you
I
boys
wanna
heading
come
down to the
camping
beach
I
now,
want
is
to
it?
camp to the. But have you seen the wind outside? But the sun's gone now. No
Gale
way.
force winds tonight,
Yeah,
mate.
man.
Good luck on that journey.
We're about to go to the beach
Yeah, man.
before we go back.
We'll see the sea.
Yeah, we'll ban the zoot, or the wind will ban the zoot for us.
Yeah, but alright, guys, love for having us,
Thanks,
man,
man.
and to
Thank
all
you
the
for coming
listeners
down.
as
Thank you.
well.
So
Appreciate it,
Appreciate it,
we're
man.
at Shotgun the Orgs, all digital platforms, YouTube.
Yes,
Make
yes.
sure you like, subscribe, share, all of that stuff, because that's the only way we're going to grow and people are going to see this. So,
Yeah, man,
For sure.
exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
peace again, boys.
All right,
boys.
love,
Thank you
man,
very
guys.
much.
Big up.
Love,
Thanks,
love
man.
you,
Appreciate
man.
that.
Love, man.
That's
Thank
stretch
you.
over.
Love, man.